Hello and welcome to another update video about NatGas. Yeah, NatGas, haven't covered it for a while, but one reason enough to make a video now, because we have a first, I would say, reasonable 5-wave move up from the 2024 low, which is finally an upside reversal signal on the larger time frame. Okay, now obviously it's already rallied quite substantially from the 2024 low, but this is more like a long-term trend change signal because the market has obviously been in a large correction for quite some time, right? So this entire move to the downside. Oops, 1 second, not this one. too far zoomed out. No, from here, from the 2022 high, yeah, to the downside. And we talked in previous updates about, yeah, here probably a 5-wave move down that developed as part of a larger ABC structure maybe, or one way of tracking this was as well, just to show you that we said, hey, we have here an A wave down, a B wave up, and the C wave down. Surely another low was possible. However, with a 5-wave move up, we now finally have that signal. So the idea was that we were quite close anyway to a major trend reversal, and that we were here quite close really to a major turning point. And with that 5-wave move up, we finally have that signal, which is definitely interesting to track now, especially in the next larger correction. Yeah? So I'm tracking here still ABC down and now a potential 5-wave move up. Now that can be counted in various ways. We want to talk about those two ways that I'm tracking right now. That means, however, whenever we have 5 waves up, we're quite close to a correction. I have no evidence that we've topped already, but I will tell you where the price could be going, at least from an Elliott wave point of view, the key levels. I will remove the resistance area from the chart because we're holding above it. That was important also because whenever we get 5 waves up, we need 5. It was a dog, if you heard him. We need 5 waves up above resistance, not below resistance. So above resistance, good signal for a trend change. We're still moving in this channel, so that could provide some resistance. But yeah, for now, I'm tracking this. It's certainly not impulsive to the upside. I'm tracking this as a diagonal pattern. So what we can say, for example, we had an ABC structure here to the upside. That labeling is just for educational purposes now. I mean, and to understand that we're likely dealing with a diagonal here. This was also a 3-wave move. 3 waves in A, B, and then the C wave. And then here, the wave 4 likely bottomed in this support area. I mean, it's been a while that I covered NatGas, but this support area held. That was discussed in the last video, and now we could be in this 5th wave to the upside. Now the question is how can we identify a structure for this 5th wave, and could we already have formed the top maybe, or at least what would be a signal to tell us that a top is in? Yeah. Now, if we see this pullback, this is a 3-wave move down into support. And from a context point of view, this is, for me, the wave 4 with just one more high in a wave 5. Now, if you look at this, we've already formed a higher high. Now, there are different ways. We can, to calculate a target for a 5th wave, we can, for example, measure the length of the wave 1. And we go to the low of the wave 2. And then normally what we want to see is sort of maybe the 123.6 extension in the 3rd wave. So it's quite a weak 3rd wave. We haven't reached that. The 5th wave should normally get to the next level above. So 512 would be ideal. Yeah. So I definitely would keep the door open for higher prices. But my view is that most of that rally from that 2024 low is done. I could definitely see potentially some upside continuation there. Let me go to the smaller time frame. Now, I mentioned it before, tracking the microstructures on the NatGas chart is challenging because there are so many instruments. So best I can tell here, if we go to the, yeah. So it would be an ABC structure to the upside anyway, right? So That's key. It is entirely possible that this was all of the A wave of 5. This was already all of the B wave, and we're now moving up in wave C and could reach that 512 level next. Let's go to the smaller time frame. Oh no, that's fine. And then maybe even within this, because this rally looks like 3 waves clearly. Yeah, this here was an a wave 1 of C, because a C wave is always 5 wave move. Wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Also circle wave C could be an ending diagonal. I mean, that's one scenario I'm tracking. But in this scenario, that wave 2 pullback is quite shallow. So we might go a little bit deeper. Invalidation point here would be the $3.76 level. And that being said, that would also be the first signal that maybe we have topped already, getting below that level. Yeah, but only a break below that level would confirm that further. And if we then also get a break below that $2.97 level from January, even further evidence. But for now, the uptrend still seems to be intact. And a break above the upper boundary line of the trend channel is needed to further confirm that we're progressing higher in this pattern here. And I would not rule out that it goes above 512. I mean, could certainly become maybe an extended 5th wave. Now, another scenario we could track, potentially, is a more aggressively bullish one. The other scenario I'm considering is, what if this was another 1-2 setup here? I don't like it so much, but it could very well have been another leading diagonal on its own. 1, 2, it would be the alternative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, highlighted here in white. So we could call this maybe a wave 1. Wave 2. And what's going on here? Well, we could track this here as another leading diagonal, but that's rare. So I don't like that idea so much. In this scenario, then also here, wave 1, wave 2. Maybe this even but that's very, obviously the proportions are off. But from a, let's say, traditional Elliott wave point of view, that's perfectly valid, because you can have a long wave 1, wave 2, a shorter 3rd, short 4, and then an even shorter 5th. But then we need to be careful, because the 3rd wave must not be the 3rd wave must not be the shortest one. So this would be technically limited to 499. So it must not break below 499. Must not break above 499. And then this would be like, another wave 1. But for now, I would focus on higher prices against the red line there. In the very short term, you could even use that last swing low there at $4.14 as key level. But please note that in both scenarios, we're coming to the late stages of an uptrend. And then once we get a larger pullback in place, we can add the support levels for that pullback. I would prefer the yellow count, where all of this move up will be corrected. But we should still pay attention to the more aggressive 1-2-1-2 setup here, which, however, again, is not the primary count. Still, we can add support levels then to the chart once we have a top, and then watch for reactions to these, just to see how they react, how the price reacts. Hopefully that helps. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in updates about the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, regular updates about stocks, feel free to check out our stocks and S&P 500 membership. You'll find the link in the description. It's the Patreon link, and there you get daily video updates about the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and many, many stocks. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.